Hi, and thank you for watching this Q&A for Definition Please. My name is Neha Aziz, and I'm a programmer for Austin Asian American Film Festival. It's my pleasure to introduce you to the director, writer, and actress Sujata Day and actor Ritesh Rajan.
Hi, how's it going? Austin Asian American Film Festival. So excited to be here in Texas. This is our Texas premiere.
Yeah, super exciting. Thanks so much for joining us. Super excited to talk to both of you. All right, I'm going to get started. So my first question is for Sujata. So you directed, acted, produced, and wrote this film, which is a lot. So tell me about the process and what it took to get this film made.
Yeah, I guess I'll take it all the way back to fourth grade, where I won my class spelling bee, and then I went on to regionals and I lost in the first round on the word radish. I will always remember that moment. I spelled it with 2 D's instead of 1. I will never do that again. And then fast forward to 2015, I was in a UCB sketch writing class, and we had to come up with different sketches every week. So lots of ideas. And one of my sketches was, where are they now spelling bee winners? And if you look them up, they're all doing really great things. They're working at NASA, designing robots, winning the World Poker Tour. And in my sketch, the last person ended up doing nothing. And she was still living in her mom's basement and not living up to her potential. So that's where I got kind of the germ of the idea. And then in 2016, I did the Sundance Screenwriting Lab. 2017, went to Sundance Film Festival as one of their influencers. And my friend Justin Chan's film Gook was playing there, which you guys may have programmed at a past film festival. And I was blown away by Gook, and I just like cornered him at his party, and I asked him how he got the movie made, and he said he raised money from his family and friends and he just made the film on his own. And I said, great, that's what I'm going to do. So in 2017, I started writing the feature script version of Definition Please. And I guess the question that I wanted to answer was, okay, so this young woman wins a spelling bee at a young age, and now she's in her 20s and she hasn't achieved anything, but why? So I decided the answer would be because of her familial relationships holding her back, and also her own self holding her back.
Right.
And that's how the script was developed. And then in 2019, I went back to Sundance Film Festival, this time with HBO. And Justin's next film was playing there, Ms. Purple. And I was like, what am I doing with my time? I need to make my movie. And so I just decided then and there, I was like, I'm going to shoot it this summer and come hell or high water. And I had no like money. I just like didn't know where that was going to come from. And literally I made the decision. I got an email saying that one of my shows that I had sold previously to a studio was reverting back to me along with a huge check. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to put this check towards my film. And it was definitely, you know, destiny or fate. And then that's where I kind of, you know, I refined the script, made it a shooting script, and then went into director mode, started texting my friends to be in my movie. and Tesh can tell you more about that. And then went out to Greensburg, my hometown, in May for pre-production, and then shot it in June, came back for post-production, and that's how we made the film.
That's awesome. Yeah, so you were just like, it was just like motivation. I'm doing it. That's it. I don't care. And it really was hell or high water, right? I don't think you envisioned a pandemic would happen when doing everything for the film.
Luckily we finished everything pre-pandemic. And we were about to go out to film festivals during, you know, when the pandemic hit. So I feel like we missed the terrible part of it in terms of the filmmaking where we had a finished product. So I'm grateful for that, for sure.
Yeah. My next question is for Ritesh. So mental health plays a big part in this film, and I'm sure we all know it's such a stigmatized topic, especially in South Asian cultures, but also other minority communities. How did you prepare for this role?
There was a lot of research sort of on my end, reading books, medical journals, just sort of watching other performances, videos, all resources. Luckily, both my parents are doctors.
Yeah.
My dad is one of 8. 6 of his siblings are doctors.
Wow.
And their spouses are also doctors, which includes psychologists and psychiatrists. So I was able to talk to them. Luckily, we're Indian, so a lot of my Indian friends are doctors, So I spoke to them about it, and I interviewed a couple of psychiatrists and sort of asked them their opinion about what we thought character had, which was sort of borderline personality disorder or a bipolar disorder. And what was important for us is that we were staying authentic to what that experience was in terms of a South Asian family. We didn't want to dumb it down. We didn't want to overplay it. We sort of just wanted to hit on the reality of these situations and what kind of stress or fracture that would cause in a family. And in terms of mental health and how it deals in the South Asian community or communities of sort of minority communities, for me, I think it's very important to bring this topic up to light just because I think there's a lot of shame associated with mental health. And people view it in a separate category from physical health. Like it's almost less, or it's not not equal. It's like if there's something mentally wrong with you, it's just because, whatever, like work your shit out.
Yeah.
And that's not always the case, and I think because it's associated with, oh, there's something wrong with him versus let's work through this, like a physical ailment. A lot of Asian cultures view it as shameful. Like we're weak. There's something wrong with us. We're supposed to be strong. We're immigrants. We came to this country. We fought for everything, and this is what's going to stop you. And I think we have to change that dialogue and change that conversation and have more open experiences over this topic. And I think this movie does that. So
yeah, absolutely. I agree for sure. Okay, Sujata, my next question's for you. So you kind of mentioned this a little bit when you were talking about how you made the film, but I really do love that this character is like a little bit of a mess. Like she's smart and she's capable, but she's still growing. And how did you decide that this is the character that you wanted to write and play?
I've been in Hollywood for a long time, and I've been auditioning for a lot of roles, and the roles are always the same. And and I was just like, this isn't me. This isn't my friends growing up. We all have so many diverse interests and backgrounds and hobbies. And it was just very strange that I was coming across the same plot lines that involved arranged marriage or strict parents, or or I'm going out for the doctor or the engineer, which I actually do have an engineering degree. So, but they're always very smart. And I was like, okay, well, I wanted, I'm always trying to kind of subvert stereotypes. So,
so it's
like, I'm going to, lean into the fact that this character is potentially a model minority. She won the spelling bee at a very young age, but then, things happen, and things happen in families that we don't necessarily talk about. And I just wanted to show, a real authentic portrayal of what being Indian American means, along with all of our, successes and all of our flaws and all of the things that we're dealing with on a daily basis. And so that was really important to me, to make like a very fully rounded character for each of the characters, for Jaya, for Sunny. Nobody's all good and nobody's all bad, which is totally real, and what you encounter every day. So that was really important for me, because I just I was craving to see that on screen, and it wasn't being offered to me when I put on whatever TV show I wanted to watch or whatever movie I wanted to watch. So I was like, okay, I think Toni Morrison said, if if there's a book that want to read, you got to write it yourself. And I don't know, I could have the quote completely wrong, but
that's a quote by Sujata Day now.
Yeah. But it was for, you know, I wanted to make this for us. This is for our community. And what's really cool is that people from different communities have been really speaking about it and saying that it affected them as well, which has been obviously overwhelming and great.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. Which kind of leads into my next question, which is for both of you. So this film has so much love and so much support behind it, and not only from like critics and journalists, but so many like actors and filmmakers in the community. What's that experience been like?
I mean, that's been amazing because I think like every other month we'll wake up and we'll be like, Mindy Kaling tweeted about it. Matthew Cherry tweeted about it. And it's really, it's nice because I think I go into making things not aware of how they're going to turn out. And I always allow myself to fail. And I know that it's not going to be perfect. And it's not, you know, I didn't have $30 million to make this movie. So
yeah.
we had a pretty close to that.
Okay, listen, we had $29.5 million. Okay?
I cost a lot of money.
It was all Tesh's rate.
Right.
But I just want to come out with something that affects people. So when I watched the movie, I was like, I like it. and then I was like, okay, let's see if others like it. And then we would have we started with small screenings. So Tesh was one of the first people in one of the small screenings that we watched, and his manager was crying, and he's not Indian. His manager's not Indian. So and he's an older guy. And I was just like, what's happening? That's great. I just was very shocked by that. So when we had those small kind of screenings pre-pandemic, obviously, and then when our virtual screening started, it was getting like a similar kind of reaction from different people. And it's always, you know, I love you said like our community, you know, I love our Indian American / South Asian American community out here, even Asian American community. We can like, you know, pull everybody in there. We've all been supporting each other, and the amount of support has been truly what has like pushed us along, which it's been really great.
Yeah, that's awesome. So another question for the both of you. So this film is so important for representation and breaking down stereotypes and weaving comedy and drama into a very organic and authentic story. What are your hopes of getting more of these types of stories out there?
I think Tesh can take it.
Yeah, you know, I think it's taking time. I think, you know, where we were 10 years ago from where we are now, we've seen vast improvement in terms of the characters that are being portrayed both on TV and film, but sort of even from the auditions I've been getting, you know, obviously there's a long way to go, but I think from our perspective, ultimately, and I think fortunately, we're sort of in a position where we can now sort of drive that vehicle a little bit. And this movie was an opportunity to do that. You know, it was one of the reasons why I was so attracted to the material, is that it was just completely unapologetic about injecting sort of the Indian culture into the movie. And the reality is, you know, when we watch white movies, it's like other people from other parts of the world or the US may not have that experience, but they're thrown in the thick of it and they don't say anything, right? And so we are Indian Americans. You know, we're not just Indians. We were, you know, raised here. We're as American as we come. And it's sort of, I think, an experience to watch another culture, watch another story. And this movie does such a great job being specific about it. So that's what gets other people from other cultures to be attached to the story, I think, is the specificity. Because that you have the layer of, okay, here's the Indian culture. And then underneath it, you have the family drama. And that family drama is what everyone connects to. You know, everyone may butt heads with their siblings or may have a, you know, tough relationship with their parents. And that's sort of the common thread, except it's told through a Indian American lens. And I think that's beautiful. And people get to see an aspect of our lives that's hasn't been shown on the screen. And I think that's why it's sort of been getting this response, is because sometimes you don't know what you want until you see it. And
Right.
it was kind of it. I remember when we were on set, and just like one of the small things was just having the masala chips around, like Lay's masala chips. It's like such a small thing. It's like such a small thing, but like you get really excited when you see it on screen, or the thumbs up. Like these are the stories that you talk to your parents. Like I remember the first time I had thumbs up, I was like, "What is this shit?" Like, I was like, "This isn't Coke."
It's amazing. I'm bouncing
like,
off the walls.
I'm like, "This isn't Coke. This is like sugar
Oh
water."
my
What am I
God.
drinking? So, you know, it's
That's-
small things like that, I think, that make a larger impact. You know, obviously the broader aspect of the story, but I think it's important that we're telling authentic stories. And I think the community at large, the Asian community at large, is doing a great job pushing that needle forward. And hopefully this will be one of the projects that gives that cause momentum, you know, and both from a cultural aspect and I think from a business aspect as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everything that we've seen about the movie, I mean, this is the thing that's always surprising to us. We don't know what people are going to say about the movie until they see it. Yeah. We're like, oh shit, is it going to suck? Do they think we suck? Like, are they going to hate it? And everything has been so loving and positive and supportive. And it's really sort of inspired us to keep pushing forward, to keep doing projects like this.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that thumbs up scene, because I remember seeing that, and then like me and my parents are from Pakistan, and then I remember telling them about it, and they would just like go off, like they go to the Indian store and they'll always get it, and like there's a soda, I don't know if y'all are aware, called Pakola from Pakistan, and it's like a green cream soda because it's like the color of like the flag, and it's so amazing, and it really is like 50 grams of pure sugar in there.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
They want you to come back and buy it.
It's amazing.
Maybe we should start handing them out at screenings.
No,
you should hand them out at screenings so people come back.
Honestly, my parents came down for Memorial Day, and I have like 10 of them here, so I'm totally down to do that. But yeah, it was just funny because I'm just like, oh, I love that. I love those like little nuances that are just,
and then
you know, it's just so fun.
And then, you know, everyone learns about it. Then they're like, what's that? And then you have a whole sort of audience that just, you know, even if they don't take anything away from the movie, they take one little bit of culture that they've learned something that they didn't know before.
Something that I loved when Parvesh China plays our manager at the Patel Brothers grocery store. He's really funny. He's in pretty much everything that if you watch a show, and he's like the recurring character on it. He came in and he was like, Sujata, I learned so much about Bengali culture from reading your script. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. So I think that's what's really fun about it. We lost Ritesh. I don't know what happened.
My camera was out of focus. I wanted to make sure that you guys could see my face.
So I think I love that you mentioned Pakola and Pakistan American culture, because I feel like I want to see that story.
Yeah.
Like, I've never heard about Pakola before, you know, like I feel like there's like Bengali American stories, there's Gujarati American stories, there's Punjabi stories, there's South Indian stories, Tamil stories that have not been told in such a specific way. And I would love to see those stories be greenlit and see those on screen. And I think that's what's exciting to me, is seeing that we're all the same, but in different ways that we can, you know, like you drink Pakola, we drink thumbs up, you know.
And everyone's family is messed up, right? And that's it.
Yeah, no, absolutely, for sure. Okay, I think for my last question, you may not be able to answer, but do you have any upcoming projects that you can tell us about?
Tash, you want to go first?
Yeah, so I just wrapped season 2 of Russian Doll. I don't know if I'm going to get that, but I figured like it's out there. People know we're filming.
It's breaking news.
No. I mean, people know there's season 2 is filming, so it's like. So I just got back, wrapped that up, and then also I had a movie come out during the pandemic. I'm the voice of Ken for Barbie and Ken from Mattel.
Oh.
So we had a movie called Barbie Princess Adventures on Netflix. Everything's on Netflix. We do a bunch of stuff. So we just wrapped a couple other projects. So I don't have dates for those, but check them out.
Yeah,
I mean, that's representation when an Indian American guy is playing the quintessential American dude, Ken.
Yes.
There's actually an episode on YouTube where Ken teaches Barbie Bhangra. So, because I used to teach Mongo.
You got to watch it. You got to look it up.
Yeah,
Girl, you gotta
everyone look it up.
Oh my God, that's amazing. I love that.
Yeah, so for me, I wrote a bunch of scripts over the pandemic. I wrote 2 features and 2 pilots, and I also have a show in development at a studio, which is moving along nicely. We have a really great producer on board and director, and so I can't really talk about any of it, but but it'll happen, and yeah, and we'll be able to talk about it when things progress further, but I'm excited about all of the projects.
Okay, well, thanks so much for joining us. It was so great to talk to you, and I can't wait to see what y'all come up with next.
Thank you, Neha. This was great.
Thanks for having us.